What up, guys? It's Teasy, BuildTinyEnt.com. I'm back again. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to prepare your session for mixing. All right, so let's just jump into it because we ain't got much time. I've tried to do this over and over, and either something messes up on my computer, screen record, or I run out of time. So let's just try to get into it. All right. So the first things first. This is a session. Say you just got your session from the producer, engineer, and artist, whatever it may be. So what do you do first? All right, so pull up the session. It's open. First thing first I'm gonna do is I'm gonna color coordinate all my material. So all my vocals, I'm gonna coordinate them red. I see, like, my bass needs to be color coordinated yellow with my drums, and all my drums and bass are yellow. Then my lead instruments, my synced and string, are green, and then just little fillers, hits here and there, are blue. So yeah, you can color coordinate them any way you want. I would just do it in a way that okay, I'm looking for vocals, so automatically I go and look for red, and then over here. If not, I used to not do this, but the homie Sean at trade school, he just burned it in my brain. Color everything. Pro Tools session looks better when it's colored. And he's right, it does. So thank you, Sean. And yeah, shout out to him. Anyway, so yeah, everything's color coordinated. So that's the first step I do. Now I know all my vocals are red, all my drums are yellow, and lead instruments green, fillers are blue. All right, after I get all that done, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at the session, and you see everything is a stereo pair. This is not uncommon because most DAWs will bounce or export everything stereo files unless you tell it otherwise. So this is very, very common. So you got two options here. Once you see this, you can either mix it in stereo, that's perfectly fine, but if you're gonna pan something left, you're gonna have to do this, if you understand what I'm trying to say. 35, if you want to pan this to the left. Or if you want to pan it all the way left, 100 and 100. Pan this all the way right, 100 and 100. But my point being is that most of the time you have to kind of keep them the same, and even when you do keep it the same, you're jumping up 3 dB in volume, so you got to remember that. You can do that if you want. I hate doing that because it confuses me so much, so I don't do that, and that's why I will be breaking them down into mono tracks. But before you break them down into mono tracks, you must always figure out if there's a stereo image. What's a stereo image? I will show you here.
She got a body like a goddess. Is she really by being modest?
And okay, so
She'll take you deepest.
if you look here, they're even when they go up. They're exactly the same, left and right. So that tells me this is just a copy of itself going left and right. Now, we could take it a step further if you have this plugin, and I believe it's free, or it was free when I got it. So if you don't got it, go visit iZotope Ozone, and it's Ozone 2, the stereo image 2. It was free, so go get it. But I can show you here with this plugin. When I play
She
it,
got a body like
you can see right there, it's right down the middle.
Is she
Right down the
really
middle. So that tells me this is mono, is just printed or exported into a stereo file. With that being said, you can use something like Ozone to widen it out like this.
She got a body like a goddess. Is she really by being modest?
Boom. Made it a little bit wider and spread across the center. You can do that, but then you still have it in the center. Here's another thing you can do. If you have waves, you can go down to your stereo imager and watch this. So if I move the rotation, you'll see it here from the center, it'll move.
She got a body like a goddess. Is she really but being modest? She'll take your deepest, darkest thoughts and
So that's really up to you. That's a option you can do. Yeah, you can do that, or you can pan here like I showed you. Or what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually break these down and make a mono like this. I will show you. Sorry about that. So again, I'm gonna split this into mono and I will show you how to do it here. Right click, go to split mono, and it will give you a left and a right representation or copies so you can see. It's split it down into mono. You see the left, you see the right. It's been split left and right. This is the same as the stereo. Two monos, left and right, the same thing. It's the same as the stereo pair. Now, if there was an image, it would not be the same. But we'll get to that later. Excuse me. All right, so then we would take these, and I like to hide to make inactive. So if I need to bring it back and look at it, I always have that option. You can just make it inactive and you can see it, or you can hide it. But this stereo is the same as this with the pan in the middle. So
she got a body like a goddess.
And the reason I do that is because when I get down to these stacks, instead of sitting here having to do this every single time and match them and make sure there's no phasing and all that, I just have one. So I can move it left, I can move it right, wherever I want it, and I have more control. Again, you can use the plugins and use that, but if your machine, your computer, the CPU can't, if you're having issues with the CPU and they can't handle a lot of plugins, the plugin method might not be the route for you. You might just want to split it in mono and go that way to save some of your processing power. Or you can pan it with the pan and save some processing power. Up to you. No wrong way to do this. Totally up to you. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna open a session where I've already done this. I've already split everything I want into mono. So I'm going to open that to continue. Because that is very time consuming and I'll take forever for you to sit here and watch me do it. So, okay, see here, I left these here so you can see I've split everything into mono. All these vocals are mono, and now I have pan control over them. So I'm gonna hide these. I left them there so y'all can see stereo broken into mono. So we'll hide those. Here are all our vocals split into mono. So now I have control left, right, left, right, left, right on all these vocals. And the vocal sample was actually not a vocal, so I changed that to green, and it was actually this little sound. And as you can see, that's not even. This is a little bit low, left is a little bit lower than the right. That means it's actually fluctuating left, right, and the volumes are going up and down, and it has a stereo image. So that's the reason that is not broken down. And you could take it. I could take it a step further and broke down some of the kicks and the bass. But majority of the time, when you're getting these samples from the producer, these samples, in today's world, they've been pretty much cleaned up and they pretty much are already ready, mix ready. Give or take a few things here and there so you can make room for your other instruments. But they're pretty much there, so I don't have to do very much processing on the kicks, bass, snare, all that. It shouldn't be too much, but we'll get to that later. Let's see. So now I have my whole session here, and I have my vocals broke down in mono. I have my beat ready to be mixed. Yeah. So now my session is prepared. I have everything at 0, and when we come back in here, we will start from the drums and work our way up to the vocals, lead instruments, fillers, and yeah. So yeah, guys, that's how you prepare a mix. Yeah, that's what I would do to get it ready, and I'll come back in the next video and start mixing. We'll start with the kicks and start placing everything. Yeah, one more thing I like to do, and this is just a me thing. A lot of people, the first thing you do really is you get your balance from your kick, bass, snare, drums, all the way up, right? You get your balance before you start putting plugins in, and I'll demonstrate that in the next video. But let's see, I'll show you here with the snare. So if say I got this from them, and the snare, as you can see here, if I revert this back to the original, this is what I got from them. And as you can see, it's already peaking. It's hidden. That's not. It might not be red, but it's there. So that means if I put a plug in here and try to work with it, it would automatically be close to clipping already. Like, it's pretty close. So if I boom, just a little bit will make it clip. So I have no room to do anything. So what you want to do there is either use a plugin, but if you're in Pro Tools, you just grab this clip gain and you just bring it down and make sure you give yourself enough headroom. So let's see, let's play it again. Let's see, now I'm not clipping and now I have some headroom. Me personally, I like to look at my peak meter and try to match all my peaks around -10, so that way I have a good starting point. If all my instruments are at -10 to begin with, then there's less balancing that I would have to do. But I'll get to the balancing the mix before we mix in the next video. Thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. It's Teezy, realtinyent.com. Yeah.